Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Hobby Collab.
Hello.
Today, Brett, you brought us a prize from Adepticon.
Yeah, all the way from the cold, frigid Midwest, Chicago, Illinois, Schaumburg in particular.
Very. I've never been. I have been to Chicago, but never that place.
The suburb.
Yeah.
Concrete jungle.
Yeah. So you brought us some event commemorative models, event exclusives.
Yeah, this is the first event that they are being sold at. So we have the Hunter Strikes, which is a alternate sculpt for a generic Kroot carnivore, and
the Steel Rook.
All right,
who is a part of the AOS command cadre. I think is what they're called. The command corps.
Right.
Command corps cadre is Tau thing.
Yep.
The
why do you
command
have
corps.
Tau on the brain?
I know. I wonder why. Yeah. So if you've seen Zach's model, this is his current. This is like the champion of he's like the hard hitting guy. Oh, you don't need to see that. So here he is, and here is the Steel Rook.
It's an alternate sculpt for the same model in game. Yeah.
Yeah. So a little bit thinner, right? But,
right. Not quite as chunky.
No, looks still badass.
Got a different set of weapons, but he's got a bird.
Yeah, he's got a bird aesthetic and an actual bird.
And here is the hunter who is about to strike. So I have he's meant to be on a scenic base with a tactical rock. Fans of the show will know that I do not love every model having a tactical rock. So I've cut him off his tactical rock. I put a pin in his foot. He's just leaping. And this is my, since we're showing, this is my sort of Kroot scheme. So it's a Vallejo Emerald for the skin, and then
Real zoomy.
And then some leather straps, some metal, some Agrax Earthshade over bone white for the quills. So that's what we'll be doing today.
Yeah.
We'll go back to front.
Yeah, we'll go back. All right, so I'm excited. I haven't gotten to paint much Cities of Sigmar, so this is going to be like my first real go at it. So I'm excited.
So today we will be talking Adepticon.
That's right.
I was there. A number of you were there in chat, hopefully. Right. We met a bunch of fans of the show.
Yeah.
And had some cool experiences. Got to see some cool stuff. Golden Demon, notably, is a thing that happens at Adepticon. So we'll talk about the winners.
Some controversy.
Some controversy. And then, painting up these event exclusive models while we do so.
Yeah, I know we're gonna get to it when we cover the event more.
Yeah.
Later in the show, we have a lot of really talented people in our community.
It is awesome to see.
It's kind of insane.
Yeah. I had Thursday, Friday to walk around.
Yeah.
And I saw the Golden Demon case probably about 50% full.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to see, some of the finalists that in person, but I did see a few of them, and oh my gosh,
nuts.
Our folks in our community had a pretty impressive representation. Yeah.
Speaking of which, Chris Balke. Glad to see you.
Chris.
You will be late on the show later.
We got a photo of you coming up. Not you, your model.
Your accolades, actually.
Chris, one spoiler. Chris won an honorable mention for his paintwork on his ogres, and his display board was very obvious.
Yeah.
He posted in the Discord a picture of his models, and then I saw it from across the room.
Hey, I know that.
I was like, I'm gonna go introduce myself to that guy. Yeah.
All right. So, Zach's not in here to stop me.
Right.
So I'm gonna add a little bit of blue tint to this model.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
just making that executive decision.
Yeah. He can't stop me. I mean, he could stop me. He could walk right in here and tell me no, but
he's not.
He's not going to do that.
Yeah.
He would never do that. Yeah. So this is exciting. I've never been to Adepticon. I do want to go.
You went to LVO. This last January was your first LVO, right?
Yeah, it was my first like big Warhammer event. I've been to some smaller stuff, but big events. That was the first one.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna hop on the camera first.
Sure. Yeah. Go for it.
All right. Here we go.
Yeah. So
it's a little awkward painting like this, but there we go. So I'm gonna add a little bit of tint to this. Let us know if this is a little blown out. The picture. Let we're experimenting with some new angles, so we've made
New
some
cam
camera
setup.
adjustments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not sure it's any easier for us.
Yeah.
But
Hopefully it's better for you.
yeah, Adepticon is it's been around for a while. It's a long-standing event, and it is probably I believe it is the largest miniature wargaming convention.
Yes.
So LVO has more Warhammer players specifically, but Adepticon is sort of interestingly less about Warhammer.
Yeah,
Insofar as Warhammer is the biggest miniature wargame, most popular miniature wargame, Adepticon is there are Warhammer events there.
Obviously,
but it's the percentage. Warhammer takes up Warhammer 40K takes up half of one hall, and there are 4 halls.
Yeah,
So there's and it's everything is represented. There's from like sort of the other big games like Marvel Crisis Protocol and Star Wars Legion and Shatterpoint to things like Infinity and Malifaux and BattleTech. There's a lot of 30K stuff.
Oh yeah.
Adeptus Titanicus. There's a lot of sort of really small games that you've never heard of. And we'll have some photos of some of the interesting games that I saw. Like weird naval games, weird like historicals. Lots of sort of interesting niche games. If you are a fan of an interesting niche game, and you're like, where do I go to like find a tournament for my interesting niche game? Odds are there's 20 other people at Adepticon who play that, and there will be an event for it. All the way down to like out of print, no longer supported specialist games, maybe even by GW. So I played, for example, I played in the Battlefleet Gothic and Epic Armageddon tournaments on Saturday and Sunday. So that was like that's super cool. I like the fact that there's a place for those games, that they still have still have a home, and that home is Schaumburg, Illinois. Yeah. So yeah, we've got a poll up.
Yeah.
Tell us what your favorite / the best
Warhammer related event, I think is how we worded it.
Yeah.
Because as we said, Adepticon is not strictly Warhammer, but look, if they're announcing new editions of the game, it's a Warhammer event.
Yeah. That's right. And Adepticon is sort of after they announced recently at was it LVO where they announced that there's going to be sort of absorbing FLG?
Is that true?
Yeah, didn't they announce that?
I don't know.
I thought they announced that they're like that FLG is getting absorbed.
I thought that already happened. Am I wrong?
Yeah, they announced it, and I think it's happened. Right?
Oh.
At LVO, I think they announced it.
No, I mean, I thought that happened at the beginning of... I don't know. I swear there was something where GW like took over the competitive scene. Maybe it wasn't from FLG. But...
Anyway, yeah, I was just going to make the point that like with that sort of in process, there are sort of fewer and fewer, quote unquote, independent Warhammer events out there, and Adepticon is one of the few. So, and it's probably the biggest. It's very overwhelming. There's a lot going on. It's a huge convention. Warhammer is a big part of it, but is only a part. So it's cool to see. And I guess maybe one of the things that Adepticon is known for is if you are an independent games developer and you have this game that you've been working on for the last 3 years, and you've done a bunch of playtesting, and you've gotten it to a point where you're ready to sort of introduce it to the world, Adepticon is usually the place where people do that. They very often will time their Kickstarter so that the Kickstarter is live.
Right when
as they're showing up to Adepticon, they'll rent a booth and run demos, and then when you can make a weekend at Adepticon out of just kind of walking around the vendor hall and playing demos of new games that you've never heard of because they're just sort of seeing the light of day for the first time. Many of them, like I said, will be sort of live on Kickstarter right now.
Kind of to make sure I didn't get paid on the lens. Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right. Sorry. Yeah, that's exciting.
It's real neat.
You did get to play some, from what you told me, right? You played some
so
unreleased or newly released.
Right. Yeah. Last year was my first year at Adepticon. And we did a lot of that. I did a lot of that. I basically spent the weekend walking around the vendor hall, just doing demos. And this year I did some of that, not quite as much, but got to play a bunch of demos, in addition to the 2 events that we did. So it was neat. It's a neat experience when you walk up to a booth and sit down and you just see this look of pride on a person's face, and that they've spent the last 3 years working on this thing.
Party lights. Yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Soups,
for the gifted
membership.
Yeah. It's amazing because these people are so. You got to scooch over a little bit.
Oh, sorry. I'm completely. Yeah, we are gonna adjust this camera.
Out. Yeah.
We're gonna zoom out. We're gonna lift it up a little. I'm having to angle it. All right. Sorry, you were saying? I'll adjust this.
It's this is like their baby, right? They've spent the last 3 years working on this thing. They're really excited to show it to you, and they're like, this is why they came. They've spent a ton of time, a ton of money, birthing this child of a game into the world, and they're just so excited to show it to you, and that excitement is infectious.
Yeah.
And so you get to just sort of both feed on but also support that enthusiasm and excitement, and it's very infectious. It's very fun. I think. Have you ever sort of played an indie game like this? Have you ever sort of dipped your toe into the world of some sort of small, not super popular, but I don't know, maybe small passionate community kind of thing?
So I've played. I don't remember the name of it, but I did play this space RPG.
Yeah. Okay.
That was it was the game was a pamphlet, right, with some cool art. It doesn't have any miniatures or board or anything, but it's a pamphlet, and you use what you've got. So I feel really bad because I don't remember the name of it. It was really fun though.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these games at Adepticon fit that description. Either many of them will have models, but some of them don't, or they're 3D printable. They've just created STLs, and the prototype, the model prototypes they're showing off at the event are 3D printed. It's interesting. There's a Goobertown Hobbies video out right now that has sort of struck a nerve in the community, I think, about how sort of challenging Warhammer is to get into and stay into, and so it's interesting to sort of entertain the thought of what if I wasn't sort of bound by
rules updates
and what if Games Workshop wasn't all that I sort of restricted myself to in my gaming hobby. And I think there's still just kind of a reality that you need an opponent, and Games Workshop games are the sort of easiest and most realistic to expect to be able to find opponents for games. The best game in the world can be as good as it wants.
If you don't have someone to play with.
If you can't find someone to play with, then it doesn't do you any good. But yeah, it's cool to see what else is out there,
Yeah.
So yeah, I wanted to share a few of my favorites from this year. So we did. I did a demo of. So I went a couple. Let me take a step back.
Yeah.
I went with a couple friends. My friend Brad and his cousin Scott, and then Scott's son Kyle. So it was, the 4 of us shared a room, and I signed up for events together, etc. And and we did demos together. So we signed up for a demo of BattleTech. Okay. I'd not played, this was Alpha Strike. I'd not played Alpha Strike before.
Right, so that's like the semi-simplified version.
Yeah, it's after playing it, I think I would describe Alpha Strike as Catalyst Games' attempt to make a version of BattleTech that can woo Warhammer players away from Warhammer to BattleTech. So it doesn't use hex grid. It uses a measuring tape. It has a simplified to hit mechanic.
Right.
So you're not like rolling 17 dice and looking at all these tables to figure out, like your hit points are sort of consolidated into a single health pool rather than having multiple health pools across different body parts, etc. So there's a lot of things that you'll recognize if you're a fan of Warhammer. It'll feel a little more familiar. But yeah, we did an Alpha Strike demo. We did a demo of another Catalyst game called Leviathans, which is an airship game. It's big floating dirigibles in a steampunk world where you've got not even dirigibles. They're like floating boats.
Yeah,
they don't have balloons. They're just like World War I, World War II battleships. Like flying in the sky. Like there's like a flying submarine. Like
Caradron Overlords minus the balloons.
Yep.
But no dwarves.
No dwarves. Yeah. just and it imagines an alternate reality where it's like alternate reality World War One. So it's like the French and the Germans and the British, and they all have sort of unique boats that have, stereotypical connotations of those
countries.
At the time, and it was interesting. That was interesting. We did a demo of Relic Blade, which is a fantasy skirmish game, alternating activations. Really cool mechanics. I really enjoyed one in particular. So in many alternating activation games, when you activate a model, you get two actions.
Right.
You can move and fight, or you can move and shoot, or you can move twice. So you can
XCOM.
shoot twice. XCOM, yeah. This one, every model had a wildly different varying number of activations.
Oh, wow, okay.
Anywhere from like 3 to 6.
Okay.
But they also had different movement characteristics. So if a model had 6 activations, it oftentimes had a shorter movement characteristic.
Right.
The net result being that most models in the game could move around 12 inches in a turn if you sort of spent all of their activations on moving. But the characters that had sort of 6 activations but 2-inch move could, if they so chose, stand still and just like shoot a whole bunch.
Right.
Yeah. So like you've got a wizard with 6 activations and they can just stand still and just like go nuclear.
Magic missile time.
Yeah, that's right. So that was a neat sort of variation on the standard like 2 activations, alternating activation skirmish game that I liked. It didn't really... This was a common theme. I always am curious what a game's comeback mechanic is. And we were talking about this in the Discord recently, actually, too.
Yeah.
I feel like alternating activation games struggle a little bit with needing a comeback mechanic because as soon as you sort of get down on the activation economy, you lose one model, and then your opponent can like... you can basically wait till your opponent does all their moving, and then you can before you sort of commit anything of value, and then you can just kind of react to their movement, having perfect information and blah blah blah. So I lost. I was playing somewhat recklessly in this demo, and I lost a model early on. And at the end, it was fun. I had a good time, but at the end, I asked the guy running the demo. I was like, is there a comeback mechanic in this game? If I lose a model early like this, am I just, I sort of feel like I'm at a pretty big disadvantage.
Yeah.
Is there something that I'm missing here that you could tell me about? Because their job in these demos is to convince you to buy the starter box.
Yeah.
So I sort of feel like I need to ask these kinds of salient questions in the moment. So I posed this to him, and he was like, Yeah, the comeback mechanic, there isn't really one, but the game plays quickly, and so our expectation is that if you sort of feel like the game's over, that you just re-rack and start over. I didn't love that answer. I feel like, it sort of devolves at some point to, well, we're just going to get together and play 4 re-racks of the first turn of this game.
Yeah.
And as soon as one of us loses the first model, we're just going to start over again. Like, I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't love that either. Right?
Yeah, that's not a great. I mean, I guess it's an approach.
It's an approach. Yeah. Anyway, I feel like there's so many games out there. We're spoiled for choice. It's probably terribly hard to break out into the world of a miniature. Making a new miniature game in this day and age.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of sympathy for those who are putting it all on the line to try it. But it's interesting to see what people are putting out there. I think my favorite game that I played, sort of indie game, is this one called Breach Storm.
There, you want to do it on the...
See this? All right. There you go. This is their business card. Breach Storm. Yeah, there we go. It's a pretty generic sci-fi miniatures game. It's got humans versus tiger people with katanas.
Very cool.
Yeah, you can go back to the front.
Okay. Can I borrow the black, by the way?
Yeah, sure. It's made by 2 guys. The whole company is 2 guys, Zach and Trevor. If you watch, do you ever watch Tactical Tortoise on YouTube?
I've heard of them. I don't.
Okay, so it's a guy named Trevi. It's the same person. Trevi from Tactical Tortoise is one of the game designers for this game.
Oh, cool.
And he and Zach spent the entire convention behind the booth. It was so impressive. They were there at 8 a.m, and they left after 8 p.m. They specifically got a booth outside of the vendor hall, so they could. It was like in the hallway,
right?
So they didn't have to close up when the vendor hall closed up. And they were there till like through the whole night, just doing. And they had energy, they had passion. They were running demos all the time. And the gameplay is great. I actually really, really enjoyed the gameplay, which is a lot to say. Like, in this day and age, a dice game, specifically one that uses D6s, I feel like there's so many of them out there.
Yeah, and it's like, how many variations
variations? Without going into all the specifics of the gameplay loop, it, like, ticked all the boxes for me.
Yeah.
It looks super interesting. I had a lot of fun. It didn't feel old. It was quick also. There weren't like, I'm going to roll a hit, I'm going to roll a wound, I'm going to roll a save, I'm going to roll this. It's like, it was snappy, but yet it had sort of a good feel to it. Yeah, Timbit, that was the booth with the neon trees. Yeah, I really enjoy their game. The lore feels a little bit, like I said, generic sci-fi.
Yeah.
But as far as like the gameplay loop goes, spot on.
Solid.
And I'm told that there's a lot more lore on their website.
Okay.
If you are so inclined to check it out. They sold starter boxes there. They also have 3D printable models. So I think I'm gonna
nice. I
might buy one of their STL packs and print up some models. They have the cards available for download. You can download the cards. So you can play the whole game without sort of buying any physical products from them, which I don't know. And in this day and age, in 2024, is like kind of a cool thing. I feel like.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. I mean, that's like very forward thinking, right? Like,
yeah. They just introduced a new faction that's very Tyranid-y with like a swarm bugs kind of thing. Maybe more Starship Troopers than Tyranids, but and they're working on a 4th faction, which are psionic lizards.
Oh,
yeah.
Hey,
their mechanic is. As I understand it, the first time you shoot at them, you automatically miss because they were projecting a sort of fake vision of themselves. Yeah. And then once you sort of pop that illusionary bubble, then like you figure out where they actually are, and so your second attack can actually roll the hit normally.
That's pretty great.
Yeah. Yeah. You're talking about sci-fi when tiger people with katanas are generic.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, forgot to do this. Hey, if you enjoy the streams and stuff and you want to support, I'm going to hit the support button. You can like the stream.
Like the stream.
You can super chat, hobby, memberships, yada, 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 all that stuff. But, it helps us out.
Mostly just like the stream.
Yeah. Helps us keep the channel alive. and running. All right, I'm gonna come back to.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just show off where I'm at.
Nice. Okay.
Not much. I didn't realize he had pants on in the back.
Ooh, he's got pants.
Yeah. There's his weak spot, his red butt. So obviously I have to do another coat of that. But look, I painted the wood red because I remember a stream we did together, Brett. And I'm gonna dry brush some green over this.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh man, can I tell you a funny story?
Yeah.
One of the events we did. So last year I did a bunch of painting events.
Yeah.
When we went to Adepticon, I did a class with Sam Lenz. I did a class with Vince Venturella. I did a class with Sergio Calvo. You know,
Nice.
I was like very famous painter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sign up for your
famous
class.
YouTube painter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't really get a lot out of it. I mean there's like 20 people in the class, and you know you get 30 seconds with the person.
Yeah.
5 or 6 times as they pass through the room. They're teaching a topic but they don't know sort of where everyone in the room is in a different place
Right.
in their hobby journey, and so you can't really sort of tailor it to all of them. It was hard. I got a little bit out of it, but it wasn't worth the several hundreds of dollars I paid for all
those classes you're paying.
So I was like, I'm not really going to do that this year. I'm going to lean more a little into gaming. I'm going to let myself roam the vendor hall. But the one sort of painting event I did was a paint and take. There was no instructor. It was just, hey, here's a model. Come and hang out and sit down and paint with us. It was Malifaux. And it was, the models they gave us were like some kind of tree people. They were like Ent spirits or something.
Uh-huh.
And they're actually for the faction that I play in Malifaux, which is
perfect.
interesting, but I didn't know that in advance. But I was like, oh wait, I need to paint wood. I need a wood recipe, and I thought of that.
Yeah,
and that's what I ended up doing. I was like, he gave it to us Xanathal Prime, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna paint black over all of this, then dry brush dark green, red, and then orange, and they came out good.
Yeah, they came out great. All right, I'm also putting some red on. Now I know Zach. So this is Zach's Cities of Sigmar stuff, and his recipe is a little bit different, but I think I can get away with it because I'm going to use the same. He uses yellow base and then a contrast paint. I think I can add some yellow highlights and then add that contrast paint back in
to the red.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's how he does his
yellow base, red contrast over top.
Yeah, so this is how his all right. It's a little bit brighter.
Oh yeah.
But I think I can get it.
It looks good.
Yeah. I haven't applied the magenta things with his Doomfire magenta yet, so I'm gonna come back. It's a little uncomfortable to paint like that. Can we maybe show where you're at?
Sure thing. Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm just doing color blocking.
Here we go.
So I've started some straps, doing some gray on the gun. Looks like I missed a spot on his hand there.
That's right. It's good to have the big screen.
Yeah.
Add this bird in.
Yeah, I got to figure out what I'm going to use this model for. It's just an alternate sculpt for a normal Kroot carnivore, but they all come in even numbers, like they come in a box of 10 and you need them in units of 10. So like, what am I going to do with one extra carnivore? I guess I can just pull another model out in case it breaks or something.
Yeah, I guess you could. I mean, if you've got duplicates, you could have this guy step in.
The old ones aren't monopose. They're, you can pose the arms.
Are they?
You can pose the arms any way you want. So,
oh, geez.
There's not really. I mean, there's 3 or 4 like sort of types of poses.
Shoot.
But yeah, it was a fun weekend. I got to Timbit and chat. We got to hang out with Timbit a little bit. Hung out with C Balk.
Sibalke.
And Devin was there. I did not get to see him,
Yes.
but he lives in the area.
Oh, really?
Devin Bush.
Oh, really? I thought... Okay, cool.
He lives, in like Oakland, right? Or sorry, East Bay?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I didn't get to see him, and I didn't get to see Chris Likes to Paint.
Oh, that's too bad. Hopefully next time. Well, we can always see him in Hobby Chat.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah, so I have put this guy, he comes with a 32 millimeter base. And so I put him on a 28 millimeter base, which is the size for sort of normal Kroot.
Thank you, Liberty, for the super chat.
Thanks, Liberty.
Liberty says, justice for Avatar.
What is that a reference to?
I have no idea. You see, we did a ranking of cartoons, and I put Avatar, the Airbender, right where it belonged.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I don't know.
So Liberty disagrees with your...
I gave it A tier.
Oh, really?
I give it top of A. Let's be clear. It wasn't like it was bottom of A tier. I'm pretty sure I put it top of A.
Was this during your journey?
This was during our Adepticon reveal stream. You were there live.
Got it. Okay.
Oh God, I got gifted a membership.
That's awkward.
Wow, that's weird.
You got to turn that off, sir.
I should probably just buy my own.
Buy your own, yeah.
Hey, thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Good night, Christopher.
You got sniped, sir.
I know. That bullet will be here any second. All right, I'm gonna give this guy. What do you mean I gotta turn it off? I want to get gifted memberships though. All right. I'm gonna give him a black leather pouch. I don't really want to draw too much attention to it.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I posted a picture of this model in a couple different places this morning as I was pulling it out to build it.
Yeah.
Because Adepticon was the first. These are the event commemorative models, so that you're meant to. GW sells them at their events, so you have to go to like a Tacoma Open or. Thank you, Super Edie. Welcome, Clather, to the channel.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Actually, yes. So speaking of which, I said so thank you, Christopher. Thank you, Super Eating, for the gifted membership. It gives us life.
But yeah, I was saying I posted a picture of this model in a couple different places, and the Kroot model specifically I posted in some Tau Discord, and it started a little conversation, right? Like people were like, "Oh, that's interesting. What would I use that for? It's not an alternate it's not an alternate character sculpt." So they kind of had the same. It's kind of the same response that I did. Like, well, that's a neat model, but I don't know what I'm going to use it for. Because if I bought a unit of 10 Kroot, now with this, if I buy this, I have 11 Kroot. What do I do with the 11th Kroot?
Exactly.
And so people are thinking, I think logical thoughts, which is like, oh, is there a character I can use it for?
Yeah, kit bash it.
You could kit bash it a little bit. Shapers have this like mask on their face, this like leather sort of face mask.
Yeah.
So you'd have to do an alternate head if you wanted it to be a shaper, or not. You could just use it as a shaper, I suppose. In which case, the 32 millimeter base would be appropriate. But yeah, if you're gonna use it sort of as it's intended, as an alternate sculpt for just a generic carnivore, then you have to put it on a 28 millimeter base, which means you have to find one.
Yeah.
But yeah, like. There were a couple different comments from people like, oh, $35 for a single, 7-point Kroot carnivore. Like, what? Yeah. That seems like, not a lot of value. Right?
You would be right if you said that.
You would be right.
That might be the most stark dollars to points per model out there.
It's very possible. Anyway, I was curious. Like, I guess in my mind, these are the same. It's sort of the same as paying money for alternate skins of a thing in a video game.
Okay, yeah,
right?
where it has no real effect on the game.
It has no effect on the game. Like, I'm paying $35 to have an alternate skin of like a trooper model in my unit. Like,
yeah.
That's sort of how I think of it. It's an aesthetic upgrade that brings you joy when you look at it. It has no sort of impact on the gameplay. But I guess, like, chat, this is a question for you, Saray. It's a question for you, chat. Like, what are your thoughts on commemorative models? Like, why? Like, have you ever bought one? Mm-hmm. Do you like the idea of it? Like, how would you feel if this was like a character that had sort of bespoke abilities, but could only be had if you could only get it in person at an event, and you had to pay $35.
Right. Well, I think right off the bat, Timbit makes a very good point. Is that that's a question. You know, a painter will have a different outlook on it, right?
Yep.
So I mean, there's that. Because that's how I would think about it. Like, I think about the Catachan Colonel, right?
Yeah.
I guess technically that's a new model. It doesn't really have rules. But, like, it's such a cool model to paint that I feel like it maybe gets an excuse. Because, I mean, no, that's not a 7-point model, but it's like you can only really swap it out for, like, a 55-point model, which is really, in the grand scheme of things, isn't much anyway.
Isn't much either, yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, when they announced this, I immediately was just like, oh yeah, I'm going to buy that.
Yeah.
I don't know when I'm going to have the opportunity. And this was before, I had this reaction even before I knew that it was going to be for sale at Adepticon. But I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to buy that. Because they don't release a lot of these commemorative models. And, you know, much of the time it's for a faction that I don't collect or play.
Yeah.
Also, they've not done kind of anything for the Kroot range in so long that we've just kind of been Tau players in general been starved for new auxiliary releases.
Yeah, I was going to say Kroot, let alone Tau even. Like, but specifically Kroot is another thing.
Yeah, so I am, I guess I'm maybe the target audience, I guess, for this kind of thing. It's like I'll just collect anything they put out. I'll buy it and paint it and have fun using it. I'm a bit of a collector / hipster when it comes to this stuff, and I love, owning and painting weird, obscure things, and I'm happy to pay a premium for it.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to grab a dry brush.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think in chat? Let me read a couple responses. Gramps, they did that with the unmounted Archeon. Okay. Yeah. As a painter, I love the nostalgic ones. As a painter and a gamer, the new creations are usually a swing and a miss. Yeah. It feels like when they try to add rules to these kind of things, they struggle to hit the balance between effectiveness and like you don't want to make them so bad that they're useless, but you also don't want to make them overpowered so that it becomes pay to win. So it becomes this like weird dance, and I feel like they've never done a great job of hitting that balance correctly or well. So yeah, I guess my preference, what I'm realizing is I think my preference is that they just stick to these alternate skins, like don't have to put rules to them. Just give them. It's just an alternate sculpt for a thing that already has rules.
All right, I'll come back. I'm looking for a shade. I can't find it right now.
I'll just ask Zach to get it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I generally agree. I think occasionally they'll have something that's like really speaks to me. Like I'm thinking of the Castellan, Space Marine Castellan.
Yeah,
it's just like, oh, I don't care, what the rules are. This is not even for my army. I'm gonna buy it and paint it.
Yeah.
And obviously you can like kit bash and stuff like that, but yeah, I think I'm with you. I really like this actually though. The Rook, right? The idea that it's like, okay, it's part of a unit,
right?
But it's like it's an alternate sculpt. It's just an alternate sculpt for. It's not. It doesn't have its own rule set, but like you said, it's just a.
Yeah, I guess I wish this was an alternate sculpt for a character, because then if you don't own that character
Yeah.
yet, you can just buy it. And
Exactly.
now you own that character.
Yeah.
And it's a different version of that character. But now it's like, oh, it's an alternate sculpt for an individual model in a unit. Like, that just feels a little weird to me, I guess. But
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right. An alternate sculpt for a character, because you don't want it to be a character with different rules.
Right.
Right? Because then it's like, oh, well, I'm never going to an event. How am I ever supposed to get my hands on this model?
Right. Yeah, and that's Liberty's point. Liberty's saying, I'd rather have the model be available to all, so it doesn't end up being exclusive. All important model, the Terminator Chaplain before reprint, was scalping for $200.
That's right.
That's crazy. And that's so that Terminator Chaplain was an exclusive model that had unique rules, right?
Yes, I think they did it twice, actually.
Wait, so you can't get a Terminator
Well,
Chaplain?
well, now you can. With the release of, not Indominus, Leviathan, the newest edition.
Oh, okay.
If they re-released. But before that, the only way you could get a Terminator Chaplain was to either have the really old one or to get an event exclusive.
Wow. I had a Terminator Chaplain, an old metal one, really old one, and I was doing a bike Chaplain conversion, and I was like, oh, I just took an Outrider, and I just cut the Crozius off of my Terminator Chaplain, because I was like, I'm never going to use a Terminator Chaplain. And I got it like as part of a lot of like old Firstborn models.
That's hilarious.
And I just cut the Crozius off him and stuck it on an Outrider.
Oh my!
Made a bike Chaplain. I had no idea. Today I learned. I just cut his arm off. Liberty, I'm sorry. Am I causing you physical pain right now?
All right. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna highlight with this bloody red, and then for the highest highlight, I'm gonna start adding that yellow in.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'll show. Make sure I don't turn the power off on accident.
No one was after that Chaplain.
Yeah, there were multiple. One of them was not as good. The more recent Chaplain, not the one before Leviathan, the event exclusive before Leviathan, was like not amazing. It had a lot of people said it looked like it had cat ears. Okay, oops, there's a bunch of stuff on here we don't want to see. Sorry, you can push that back over here. Just get it out of the way.
Let's get that out of the way.
Let's get it out of here. All right, so I'm going up to bloody red, which is much brighter. It's probably going to be too bright, but we are going to cover this in contrast. So, and actually, I just realized once I do this, we got to do the first of the slideshow.
We got to show some photos.
Yeah, we're going to show off some people. Tim, we did not put your face on here, even though we have it. So we have blackmail on you.
Yeah.
So just so you know.
When I took that photo, I was like, Tim, are you okay if I take your picture? And he said, yes. And then I said, beyond that, are you okay if I put your picture on this picture that I'm about to take of you on the internet? And he said, yes.
Oh, well. This blackmail's probably not going to work then.
But I didn't get him to sign a piece of paper to that effect, so I guess he could deny it, and then we'd still be in trouble.
Okay, so he's got blackmail on us.
He's got blackmail on us. Yeah.
Wow, masterful play.
Well done, Tim.
Good job, Tim. You got us.
Got him.
Tim is, yeah. When I seen a picture of Tim, I thought, yeah, that's exactly what I pictured Tim looking like.
Tim was great.
Yeah.
I loved hanging out with him. We got to hang out twice. Not for very long. We were both, he was doing Heresy and I was doing obscure out-of-print specialist games. I did not get a chance to swing by the Heresy room while he was playing. Unfortunately, which means I didn't get to see the crazy White Scars in person.
Oh my gosh, you missed out.
I missed out on so much stuff. This is like a common theme. It's really hard to sort of see it all at Adepticon. And one of the consequences of signing up for gaming events is that,
this is super.
There's like an entire day where you just can't do anything. Because you're from like 9 a.m. to 6. You're just playing a game. Playing a game.
All right. This guy's butt has been highlighted.
Nice.
in this little... Okay, let's do this slideshow. We'll do half of it now, I think.
Okay, slideshow. Oh, photos.
Yeah, photos.
Photo time.
All right. That one. Nope.
No, just push the button with the mouse.
No. Yep, I'll do that.
Yeah, so these photos, many of them are in Discord. All of them are in Discord. I was bad about taking pictures as much as I'd like to. I tried to get capture a bit of the vibe of the event, as well as some photos of the events that I participated in.
Don't remember which one it's in. Is it this one? Nope. This one? Nope. All right, it's got to be one of these. Oh my gosh, which one did I put it in?
Memes.
It's not memes. This is what I get. Oop.
We're just pushing buttons at this point?
Yeah.
Okay.
I definitely put it in here. Anyway, yeah, I'd mentioned that we have some very talented people in our little hobby community.
Yeah, so one of the things that we've got in the slideshow is pictures of Golden Demon entries.
That's right.
So Tim entered Golden Demon with his Slán, which he had shared photos of, and we had done some critiques of in the past as he worked on it. That was amazing. Chris likes to paint, entered a big bird demon thing. I don't know what the model is. Maybe you can tell me what the model is.
I believe it. Okay, here. I'm going to do a studio mode real quick. All right. Let me know if you guys can see this. I'm behind the scenes. I'm working on stuff behind the scenes. Nope. Hold on, let's see if they can see it. I don't like that there's a delay. Sorry. You were saying. Yeah, Tim got not a commendation, he got a finalist medal.
Yeah.
Finalist nomination.
Very impressive.
Very impressive. Chris likes to paint. Top 10 for Kingdom Death.
Yeah. Oh, it's a Kingdom Death model?
I believe it was Kingdom Death.
All right, well, let's hold this commentary until we get the photos
we get it.
How do we figure out which of these?
Luckily, they can't see it in this. Oh, here we go. For some reason, it's in this one. All right. The studio mode. It was Discuss. There we go. Speaking of Chris likes to paint.
Cool. So his model is in the bottom left of this photo?
Yep. He has some, yeah, so if you want to see him in all their glory, he posts some on the Discord. But I wanted to show it in the... show it in the case with the awards.
So, it really was in the case.
Yeah. So, congrats.
Congrats, Chris.
Yeah, great job.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a huge deal. This is sort of the most prestigious painting competition in the United States. And, if you buy a ticket to Adepticon, you get a ticket to the Golden Demon as part of your Adepticon ticket. Like, literally anyone can enter for no additional cost who is attending Adepticon. And I didn't realize that until this year. So...
Yeah. This is not Golden Demon, by the way. This is a separate painting event. This is the Creature Caster event. Sorry, I think I said Kingdom Death. This is Creature Caster event. But still, top 10 for that is...
Got it.
Very impressive.
So, yeah, I think, I regretted not just... As I was walking out the door, grabbing like my favorite painted model that I own, and just like throwing it in Golden Demon for funsies. Like, why not? Like, why didn't I do that? Just to like say that I entered Golden Demon.
Just to have it in there.
Still have not done that. But yeah, I would recommend that you do that.
Yeah.
This is a picture from the AOS doubles event. So Adepticon is known for its doubles events, both 40K and AOS. And the doubles events are 4 people, and many of the teams who enter will do these elaborate display boards with themed displays. Their armies are all sort of built around a theme, and they have some elaborate display board that goes along with their theme. So this is this is an example of one of those.
Yeah, insane.
Insane. It's
Look
crazy.
how tall it is.
It's 4 feet tall. Yeah. There are several of these. The AOS ones this year were almost, in many ways, more impressive than the 40K ones, which is unusual.
Yeah, very impressive.
Yeah.
All right, this is you.
So this is a picture of one of my games. As I mentioned, I played the 2 gaming events I entered were Epic and Battlefield Gothic. So this is my first Epic game. I was playing as Ben. This is Ben's first ever game of Epic. I'd only played a handful of games myself. So we only got through 1 turn. No, we got through 2 turns. But yeah, it was slow going. He was a little flustered because he had he's a local guy, lived 30 minutes away, but he'd forgotten a number of his models at home.
Woof.
And so he was sort of struggling with trying to figure out what to proxy as and if that was okay. And I was like, yeah, dude, it's fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. But yeah, he forgot flight stands for his airplanes. Someone else in his group forgot their dice, and so we were just kind of working it all out on the fly. But really nice guy. We had a good game. He was playing orcs, and we had a good time. We figured it out.
Yeah, that's awesome. It looks like a fun time.
So that was epic. Yep.
All right.
This was
is BFG.
my Battlefield Gothic game. Yeah, against the guy who ultimately won the event, Andrew. Yeah, Andrew K. He played Chaos, and he brought the Planet Killer. And if you zoom in there, you can see the Planet Killer pointed right at my custodian. The Planet Killer shoots it's basically the Death Star.
Yeah.
It shoots a Death Star laser. Never misses. It cannot miss.
Okay.
It does a ton of damage. I realized after the fact he'd done a really good job of designing a list for this event. He overloaded on weapons that could shoot 2 feet. Like weapon ranges in this game are very short.
Yeah.
And he brought a bunch of his whole fleet could shoot 24 inches, which is very long in this game.
Right.
And he was very strategic about disengaging his ships when they got wounded.
Yeah.
And so his strategy was to just lock on target, maximum range, kill something, and then just hide. Because it's a 2.5 hour long round.
Yeah.
And so if you can kill one, and it's an old GW game where much of the game is decided based on how much you kill of your opponent.
Okay.
So if you are able to, and I'm not saying he definitely didn't stall, he definitely didn't slow play, but like he just had sort of had this realization that, hey, if I just kill 1-2 of my opponent's ships and then
stay
away for the rest of the game, I will win.
Optimal play.
And so he sort of optimized his list for the event, and it worked great. He killed my ship. He disengaged with a couple things, and then and won the game by enough to get the sort of strong victory, whatever the biggest victory format is. Yeah. So that was cool. He also got a couple. He had 700. His capital ship with the Planet Killer had Abaddon on it, which made him extra good. But it also meant that it was extra expensive. So if I was ever able to kill it, it would have been bad for him.
Yeah.
And he had some. I almost did kill it.
Really?
He had some really good rolls on the last turn of the game to not die. And yeah, it was frustrating for me for sure. And after that, I was like, you know what, man? Like, you did a good job. Let's just call it here. We probably could have rushed through another turn, but I was like, we're fine. Let's just call it. You can
take this one.
You can take this one.
Okay.
And he was like, you sure, man? And I was like, yep. So that was that. Yeah, it was fun. That was my epic experience. I went 2-1.
Very cool. Can't be mad about losing to Abaddon and a Death
Abaddon
Star.
killed me. Yep, Abaddon killed me. What can I say? He does that to a lot of people.
Yeah, Abaddon, known killer.
This was the
GW table.
This was the GW streaming setup in the main hall. So this was an AOS event being played. Yeah.
Cool. Not much to say there. Just pretty cool to see. Nice setup.
Yeah. Yeah.
I appreciate that they have a mat for the table and a mat for the floor.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know what that was all about, but it was interesting. This was Catalyst. They're the makers of the BattleTech board game and the Leviathans dirigible game that I was telling you about. They make a couple sort of popular games out there right now. So this was their BattleTech area, and they had this cool mat with this big. This was not an active game being played. This was more just like a showman of like, here's what a game of BattleTech looks like. Yeah, the terrain was really nice. The hex mat was cool. The models were really well painted on the table. Yeah, that was Catalyst booth. They had a big presence last year too. They're
gunning for GW. They want that. They want that. They want that spot.
That big dog spot.
Yeah. All right, we'll do one more. No, we'll do a couple more. We'll do a couple more.
Okay.
We're gonna break it up.
So this is Old World, I believe. I didn't ask the question, but it's a square base rank and flank fantasy game. It might not be Old World.
Could have been a Song of Ice and Fire potentially.
But my guess is this was Old World.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a giant game of some fantasy rank and flank game, and this is it, right? Like the whole hallway outside this room was just full of these like obscure games that you've never seen or heard of, with like 10 people all playing some giant mega battle of it.
That's super
cool.
It's
amazing. Like this, I guess this could be. There's like 4 or 5 games this could be, but you're right. It's probably not Old World. There's probably something neither of us have ever heard of. And these are like the only 10 people in the world who play, and they're so incredibly passionate about it. And all of these models are scratch built, and like it's
and they're all here.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. This is
Terror Shark.
Terror Shark's army. Yeah, I posted this in our Discord. I didn't. I did get to meet Terror Shark. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
But I didn't see his army. This is Custodies with Allied Knights.
Yeah, super cool.
So Terror Shark played in the 40K championships.
Yeah,
solo championships. I didn't hear how he did, so I'm curious.
Hopefully awesome.
Hopefully well. Yeah.
Hopefully had fun. I really like 2 more. All right, what is this?
I have no idea. Another example of a game that is probably only at Adepticon.
Yeah.
Some naval, maybe is it? So
it looks like 18th century or 17th, 18th century ships. Kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, I don't know. Mantic has a naval game called Armada, but that is played on like a 3x3 board.
Okay.
And I don't know that it has provisions for like a mega battle format. But this looks much more historical to me than Mantic's Armada. So I'm guessing it's not Armada. But
Gramps is saying Armada. Super Edie is saying Man of War. We got another for Armada. So Armada seems to be the. Oh.
Yeah, there's a million of these. Like naval games are super popular, and there's a lot of these that are at Adepticon that are not like games you've heard of are in the minority at Adepticon. Like odds are better that it's something else that you've never heard of.
What the hell is Warhammer? What are you talking about?
Right, exactly.
All right, we'll do
one more.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Devin Bush.
We know that guy.
Known award winner.
Devin entered 2, 3 models?
I only seen 2. I know I think he entered 3, and I think he got finalist. Notable entries for 2 of them.
Yeah, and I think this is an Imperial Fist bust that he did.
Yeah, leaping. It's a jump pack intercessor.
Yeah. And I think the next picture is his buggy entry.
Yeah. Actually, I'll just see if it is. Sorry, I'm going to finish this up real quick. But yeah, so congrats, Devin.
Yeah, congrats, Devin. I didn't get to visit with Devin. I didn't get to visit with Devin.
At the event, so.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like by the time Saturday, I don't think he showed up until Saturday, and by the time Saturday rolled around, I was already, like I said, sort of up to my ears in trying to remember all my rules.
Yeah.
For my
Can't be blamed. All right, we're going to come back to some of these later.
Okay, more pictures coming soon.
More pictures. We were supposed to jump right into Golden Demon. Maybe we'll get some checkups on our models for a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I'll go first. This is where I'm at. I'm actually pretty far on him. You know, we're not painting for Golden Demon. Speaking of which.
Speaking of Golden Demons,
but
we're not doing that.
No, we're getting this guy up. I've got a couple more things. I'm not going to go super detailed on this guy, but for reference, here's the other guy.
We're getting there. I like your painting candle, by the way. I wish I had one for this guy.
Oh, I think there's one in the closet.
All right. So I'll show where I'm at.
Here you
go. Okay, I'm still doing color blocking. I'm just kind of clearing it up a little bit. I'm making a few mistakes. I'm straying out of the lines a little bit, but I'll clean it up. This white color I'm using, off-white color, is called Buff, and it doesn't cover very well. So I have to do a couple different coats of it. Yeah.
It's a nice color, though. It's like somewhere between an ivory and a tan, right?
Yeah, it's like a yellowish ivory.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do this, and then I put a sepia wash over top, an Agrax Earth Shade, or soft tone, or something like that.
All right. I don't have a dry palette, so I'm going to put some of this gold. I'm going to incorporate a little bit of this gold into this model. It's Vallejo metal color gold, just fastly becoming one of my favorites. Here, let's go back to front view for a little bit. So we're going to talk Golden Demon.
Golden Demon. Does it have an A or not?
Yeah, so...
Does Golden Demon have an A in it?
Yeah, here. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, I'm going to end this poll. All right, what are we thinking? Everyone thinks Warhammer Fest, which is dead, is their favorite. Pretty even spread, actually. I'm pretty surprised by this.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Looks like Warhammer Fest was the winner. Oh, you're right. I do have a Squad March dry palette somewhere around here. I meant a dish is what I actually meant. Like a metal dish. All right, let's go to the... we were talking about Golden Demon.
Golden Demon.
So.
Turns out there's not an A.
Yeah, so I thought there was. You thought there was.
Yeah.
But apparently there's not. It's D-E. Look, there it is. D-E-M-O-N.
At least on GW's website.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe someone should contact them and tell them to fix it. All right. Well, I guess we start off right with some amount of controversy.
Wow. This, this was... So, did you read the Reddit thing for this?
I didn't read it in full. The gist of it, so maybe we shouldn't be commenting because we only know the gist of it, is that apparently this background is AI art.
Yeah.
Which is...
There's the in chat, hey guys, in chat, if you know more about this, let us know.
Yeah.
But the accusation is that AI was used to generate the art that is on the backdrop of this plinth.
Yes. So, what are your thoughts?
You want me to go first?
I'll go first. Okay, so generally speaking, not a fan of AI art. As someone, I guess you could say I'm an artist, and I'm not even talking about this, right? I'm not talking about Warhammer stuff. I'm talking about, I used to do animation stuff.
Right.
So, like, the idea of that stuff getting scraped and then reused is, like, I'm not a big fan of that. But how much do you think this affected the actual judging of this painting?
A non-zero amount.
Non-zero amount, okay.
So that's where I would draw the line. Is it more than zero?
Okay, fair enough.
Did AI have a non-zero effect on the composition of this piece? If yes, then should not be allowed.
Fair enough.
That's where I land on it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's still it's incredibly well painted, obviously.
So the
person's
only
very talented, obviously, and
the only point at which I would consider AI appropriate is if you and actually I think this is the best use case for AI in art in general is for inspiration.
yeah.
So like if you're sort of looking for general inspiration images, like all of us have an inspiration folder on our computer, or like, oh cool, I found this cool paint scheme. Like you can use AI as an alternative to like Google image search for inspiration photos.
Yeah.
And so if you use AI to generate some inspiration image, and that inspiration you then sort of used to help you sort of compose your own original artwork, cool. Like I feel like that is on the right side of that line. But like if you are submitting anything that an AI algorithm generated, I feel my opinion, that is on the wrong side of that line. But yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say because it's not okay. What I was gonna say is like, all right, does this stand on its own without the plinth?
Maybe. But like the plinth was submitted.
Well, I mean, not only that, he's incorporated parts of the model into the plinth, so you can't even remove it. Right. You know, you can't even judge it.
I mean, we've talked about display boards as a thing in 40K or like, you know, army competitions, army painting competitions. Like whether you whether the rubric explicitly calls out like that only the model will be judged and the plinth will be ignored.
Yeah.
Like we are humans looking at this, and we will be emotionally affected by the presence of the plinth. Like you cannot separate the two.
Yeah.
Especially with a composition that's this sort of integral.
Yeah, and they're complementary too.
They're complementary.
Yeah,
exactly.
the grain. Also, pointing out that it's printed, not painted. That's like another layer to it. It's like, okay, well, can I just take a picture of something, you know, and put it on my plinth? Is that even if it wasn't AI art, that's kind of like Tim Bit. It's a painting competition, not so this is like definitely like I think past the line.
It's an interesting conversation to have, to hear sort of where different people choose to draw the line. I think it sparks an interesting conversation. But yeah, I feel like this is pretty squarely on the wrong side of it. Anyway,
fair enough.
First golden deviant.
Yeah, I know. We started off on a
because this is the winner, right? This is
tree. Yeah, 40K. No. This is not the overall winner.
This is gold though.
This was 40K single. Yeah, gold.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, hey, it's a good model. It's a great model.
It's a great model.
It's great, well put together.
Probably would have won without the plinth.
I think it could have won without the AI part.
We'll never know.
Yeah.
So next year, don't do that, and then we won't have to have this conversation.
Look at that. That's kind of cool too. A little fishy at the bottom. See that?
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
No, it's super cool.
All right.
Too bad it had AI art that was printed.
But no AI art on these, as far as we know.
Yeah.
Lee Jong-hun.
Yeah.
With amazing Necron. This is I'm forgetting his name.
Helbrecht?
No.
The Black Templar dude.
No, the Necron. Taking
I don't
silver.
care about the Necron. I'm staring at Helbrecht. Yeah.
Hey, this Helbrecht is amazing also, though. Kwan Ho Kim. Awesome.
I am a
What do you think of the
Templar enjoyer
model choices? Obviously, this is like its own thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of conversion there. It's an Exodite, right? Like, that's cool.
Illuminer Caesaris, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that we didn't see the Harbinger K, though. I guess that's AOS. Sorry, this is 40K. Sorry.
Okay.
All right. Oh, my God.
I was going to say, I don't know what that is.
This is amazing. Speaking of Black Templars, okay, ban Black Templars. Ban AI art, ban Black Templars, because the Black Templars are auto-win.
Yeah, who's this?
This is Quan Ho. Hey, look! It's the same guy.
Same guy.
Yeah.
Great. This is amazing. Great job.
Amazing. Quan Ho Kim,
I love the diorama categories, the squad categories.
Yeah.
Tim was telling me that for Kill Team,
Yeah.
You're not allowed to have. You have to either have single model or entire kill team. You can't have like 3 models.
Yeah, you can't have a partial.
Yeah, so this is like the squad. Yeah, unit or kill team. Yeah.
Super Edie. I don't see
Thanks,
any. I don't see any blood angels in this. In these golden demons here. No Dante. You know who's not here? Dante.
Dante.
Dante's not here.
Thank you, Molecule. Zach uses AI for inspiration for his hot takes.
No, that's not true. Zach uses a what do you call that? A wheel.
Oh, he spins a wheel?
Yeah, he spins a wheel. He picks the numbers out. He picks letters out of a hat, and he just kind of combines them all. All right, this is amazing. Good job, Kwan Ho Kim.
Kwan Ho Kim, amazing.
Oh my, dude! It's just look at this guy. A bronze, Lee Jung Hoon, also taking silver with the
Caesarius.
Look,
yeah.
These two guys,
They're
these two people. Sorry, they're killing it. Sam Lenz with an awesome Beast Snaga orcs.
Yep.
Awesome. Ultramarines
These
also
look so good. Yeah. The diorama bits, there's so much room for like originality and with conversions.
Yeah.
And sort of action-y poses. I bet this Kroot is going to get used in a lot of
You think so?
diorama pieces. Oh yeah.
Ooh, that's what we should do. We should do a segment on predictions for which model is going to be.
Ooh, yeah, not who's going to win, but which model's going to win.
Okay,
Yeah,
Vashtor. That's not surprising, I guess. This is an amazing model. Ooh, that's a really nice base, though.
Right.
Is that not? That's not his normal base. Is this the Bellacore base, or is this just completely made, homemade?
Oh, Underworlds. Yeah. Sorry, Tim. Sorry, I misquoted you.
Sorry, what did you say?
The like squad thing versus individual model thing was Underworlds, not.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, so
Not
I want to see
Warcry.
if I can. Oh, see if I can't make this a little bit larger. Can't do it. Okay, whatever. This is amazing. Who is this? Julien Charbonneau-Gravel.
Sounds Canadian or French.
French.
Or French Canadian.
Very cool.
Really nice Vashtor. Yeah. All right, we've got a tank.
Lehman Russ.
Lehman Russ.
By-
We've got a Nurgle vehicle.
That's surprising. You know, I think this kind of proves that like it's not a matter of new model win, right? New models don't automatically win. This is the Fiddick Blighthaul is pretty old as a model, and it looks awesome. I mean, same thing with the Lehman Russ, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah,
also
Lehman
pretty
Russ
old
is an
model.
older kit. But yeah, it's tricky. I guess I was talking with Tim about this, like at the event. Do you feel like the Golden Demon judges prefer a particular style? Because these two models that are on the screen right now are very dirty, very weathered.
Mm-hmm.
They are, but like, is there a style? Like, I would not have. Like Devin's stuff is also very dirty, very weathered. His is a little more subdued. These are maybe higher contrast version of weathering. But do you feel like there are certain styles that tend to win in these events? And if you don't paint in one of those styles that are typically winners, like, do you feel like you are at a disadvantage?
I'm not a competition painter, so take this with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
I believe that more than anything, Golden Demon judges are looking for technical skill.
Okay.
It is less about style. It is mostly about technical skill. Because there have been entrants in the past that show like very stylized, like high style, but maybe, because I mean they come at these with a microscope, right?
Right.
On a microscope level, maybe they're not as technically good as some other models that maybe don't have as much style. I think it was Sorry, go ahead.
So you think that a model that uses a technique that is very hard to execute would win over a model that uses a technique that is easier to execute, even if the harder to execute technique didn't sort of look as good?
Yes, I think if there's more appeal, right? There might be more appeal in a style, but maybe on a technical level.
Yeah. Okay.
That it reminds me of the I think it was last year's model. I think it was a skink,
Right, that's right.
right? And stylistically, I mean, honestly, to me, it just looked like box art.
Right.
It looked like high end 40K box art.
Yeah.
But on a technical level, extremely skilled. So,
Okay.
you know, stylistically, should that have won? I don't know. But on a technical level, it was like very high skill.
Got it. Okay.
All right, let's go down here.
Yeah, the skink. I remember that.
Oh, dude. Holy moly.
All right. I don't know who that is, but they look impressive.
This is Slanesh. I forget his name. David Ugolini.
Congratulations, David.
David, very
Great
nice. I forget the Slanesh. Hedonites of Slanesh.
Oh, yeah.
Who else we got here? Oh, okay. We got Chadakar and the Cities of Sigmar guy. Oh, Andy Wardle.
Andy Wardle.
Big fan of Andy Wardle. I don't know how to say this person's name. Demosthenes Xylus? Demosthenes Xylus?
Impressive.
Super cool. Radical. Okay, so maybe here's a good example.
Yeah.
This, stylistically, I think is probably
Which
cool.
model are you talking about?
Is Radikar.
Radikar. Okay.
Stylistically, probably cooler than this.
Yeah.
On a technical level, though, I think this is
Right. Sure.
seems better. Better executed. All right.
Yeah, interesting to think about.
Yeah. Warhammer Age of Sigmar unit or Warcry warband. This is sick. Very cool.
Oh yeah, all the sort of, well, what unit or Warcry warband is that?
I don't know.
It's like a random collection of skinks, Saurus, and a Saurus hero.
Yeah.
That's not actually a unit that you can take in either Warcry or.
Is it Underworlds?
Actually, yeah, maybe it's Underworld or like the sort of generic Warcry Seraphon warband.
Yeah.
Can be a combination of different things.
Gotcha,
So maybe
okay.
that's it.
Yeah.
Right, that's fine. All right, I'm over it.
Very cool. Look at the little frog. Little frog right there on his hand.
Special little creatures, yeah.
Okay. Oh, almost got the Harbinger Decay. No, we got this guy. By the way, Michael Thomas, good job. Nicholas Rubens Mortensen. This is insane. This right here? This is nuts. Oh.
Are those ogres?
These are not Harbingers of Decay.
They're Nurgle things?
The AOS Nurgle.
Yeah. Maggotkin?
Yeah, Magickin, thank you. Insane. I think this is a Kit Bash model. Maybe I'm wrong, the guy on the top right. I don't believe that is a standard model.
It looks, yeah, it doesn't look like anything I've seen before.
No. It's the other two I can tell what they are, but that one on the top right, I'm not sure. And hey, look, this is
impressive.
If I was gonna guess which models would show up a bunch in Golden Dawn,
it's Ninjon, right?
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
John Ninas.
Yeah, that's Ninjon.
Yep.
He did a series on his progress throughout putting that together for the last couple months. Another famous YouTuber. Just like you and I, Saray.
That's right. Famous. Yeah, we'll be on here in no time. This is awesome. Alariel. AOS large.
Oh wow,
dude! Look at that freaking beetle. Amazing.
Yeah, the beetle. So much cool opportunity for different techniques on the beetle.
Yeah,
that's rad.
That is Ruben Martinez Arribas. Then over here, Liam Hopkins with that OBR guy, and Kelsey Graham, not Kelsey Grammer, but Kelsey Graham with not a Bangorian Lord. Is that what it is? I forget.
I don't know. That's a death model.
Soulblight guy.
Soulblight guy.
It's
not a dinosaur. I don't really know much
about if it's not Dino, I don't care.
Yep.
All right, what do we got over here? Warhammer Underworlds. Okay, so they weren't Underworlds because here's the Underworld warbands.
Yeah.
Oh, another gold for this guy. David Ugolini.
We're seeing a theme here.
Look,
good painters win lots of medals.
Yeah, there's Liam Hopkins again. All right. Johan van Beer is very cool. Liam Hopkins, awesome. Oh my god, look at this
Heresy.
thing. Good god, that's incredible.
Is that a single model, like a 40, like an actual 28-32 millimeter scale model? It
I
looks
believe
giant.
this is Perturabo.
Looks giant.
Let me know if I'm wrong. Tim, is this Perturabo? You play Heresy.
I guess that would explain why it looks so big, because Primarchs are big, huh?
Yeah, he's a chunky guy. Okay. Awesome. And then over here, Matthew Cantor with an awesome Night Lord, and Aaron Clark with the Horus Ascended. I'm surprised this isn't constantly showing up in Golden Demons. This Horus Ascended model is crazy. So
Yeah.
Yep, it is pretty.
Heavily converted, yeah.
Yeah. You know the guy who converted the Perturabo? Awesome. So, okay, was it the same person who painted it? Because sometimes people have other people convert the models for them and then paint them.
That's an interesting...
So I'm curious. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. This old world troll?
Is this Old World now?
Yeah. Honestly, I could see this winning overall. This is crazy. That's insane. This is amazing.
The blends, yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts. The texture?
The
oh my
skin,
gosh.
the texture, yeah, that's really impressive. Ooh-ee.
Awesome.
Lots of skill on display.
Hey, it's that guy again.
Yep. We're seeing some familiar names.
Hey, so we got to talk about this guy, this little green guy.
Yeah.
All right, Raphael Boyan, very cool. I don't know why he has an orc banner, but all right.
Is that a Bretonian?
Looks like it, yeah.
Yeah.
So we want to talk about this guy.
The Green Knight here that placed in bronze. This is my round 3 opponent in the Epic event, Andrew Waxtrel. He was also in the BFG event, but he skipped out after round 2 because he's like, oh yeah, I've got a golden demon entry. I need to go like be in attendance for the award ceremony because I think I might have a shot at it. And then when he came back half an hour later, he was like screaming at the top of his lungs as he ran into the room.
I won!
I won, yes!
Yeah, that's awesome.
So he did a really good job.
Unfortunately, you forfeited the game, so I won. But it's what you told him, right? He's like, yeah, that's great. Well, you lost this game.
I played against him the day before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he did a good job.
Sorry, someone's asking.
It's a cool model.
Someone's asking if this is AI art. I don't think so.
No idea. Probably it looks painted.
It looks painted to me.
I'd believe if it was painted.
All right.
The friend I went with entered the Old World competition. He painted an old Deathmaster Snitch, the metal model.
Oh, cool.
And he entered it. Yeah.
All right. Marcos Forsoni, another famous YouTuber.
He's got what? This is Middle Earth.
This is Middle Earth. Look, he did a ice thing.
I like
he probably
ice
watched
thing.
my video. He probably watched my video.
Do you think there's any clear resin there, or do you think that's all of the ice effect is painted? Do you think?
I think it's clear resin.
Just all painted. Yeah. Oh, you think it's?
I think it's clear resin painted in
with
layers.
Paint.
Painted in layers.
Okay,
that's what it looks like. Cool.
Indeed.
What?
Any other standouts?
I think all the backgrounds I saw were painted. Okay. Yeah, we got a couple more. Camille Kozira with this. Damn, look at that rock. And then we got this little gremlin by Neil Hollis.
Is that Gollum?
I don't think so.
A goblin?
I think it's a goblin.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh yeah, that's awesome.
What is that?
This is Blood Bowl.
Blood Bowl.
Wow, look at the face, man. That face is just rendered so well. It's amazing. Good job. Oh, there's a gross hand in the dirt. Awesome.
Very fitting. Very fitting. Yeah.
Hey, Camille, back again. Bob Cohoon with some. This guy broke out all the tufts.
He's just got a whole field of tufts.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay, let's go to Necromunda.
Yep.
Oh man, these are nuts. These are really good. Who? Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Sorry.
Oh man. Are we into epic scale stuff?
Almost.
No?
Epic scale's next. Congrats to Clayton Correa. And James Taro
Taro
of Taro Model Maker.
Taro Model Maker fame. Yep.
Yeah, he's probably
he won 3 awards.
Yeah, he won a bunch.
Yeah.
Epic scale. Hey, this is you.
Oh my gosh, there were some amazing entries for the epic scale stuff. This one looks great. The gold winner, amazing. The sort of it's weird. It's a single model entry, but like it's sort of a diorama, right?
Yeah, there's like little solar ox
a
on them.
battle playing out at the feet of this Reaver. That's a Reaver Titan, right?
Yep, that's
right.
right.
Yeah.
And yeah, James Taro.
So good. And then the silver is this tiger shark coming out of a sort of hidden mountain.
Yeah.
Air base, which is a cool concept and really well executed.
Fletcher Goss, I think that's the guy who plans for Tabletop Tactics,
okay,
I believe.
Is it? Got it. Yeah. And then I love the Aeronautica dioramas too. The sort of playing with scale. I know a guy who did one of these at LVO that was like planes flying through a trench.
Yeah.
Oh. It was like Marauder bombers being led by like Thunderhawks flying through a trench.
Very Star Wars.
Yep. It was like yep.
Awesome.
A canyon though. It was a natural trench.
Oh, okay. And here we go.
Wait for it.
This is going to be the winner.
Slayer Sword winner,
but we're going to... He's also won diorama. This is freaking insane.
Yeah.
And you really have... Okay, so like, it looks great here.
Yeah.
You have to see it on a black background.
You see it on the black background. It looks even insane. More amazing. And you want to, like, this is definitely one of those models that you look at it and you're like, oh, it's a character on a pond, like standing on a little island in a lake and there's a reflection. But then you start to like, you look underneath it and you look around the back and you look on top and you look from all these different angles and you pick up on all of these extra little creative details.
Yeah.
So like, part of what's amazing is the technical execution, but like just sort of the creative vision is, I think, what sort of firmly plants it in the realm of like, this is gonna win the Slayers for sure territory. So I love it.
This is nuts.
It was cool.
Very cool.
This was really, really impressive. There's like little details like
the missing head and the eye and hands and it's so good.
And the tough placement is mirrored.
Yeah, mirrored exactly.
Yeah.
I think he did 3D print.
Yep.
Right, I believe, so you could get double duplicates and get them. Anyway, cool. Super cool. Oh man, Benjamin Cantor. Super cool. This isn't nuts. Oh God. How do you? I don't know. Like how I don't know how I would decide between these.
Right.
These are so high level.
Yeah. What is Benjamin Cantor's? I didn't see that one in person.
Look at that. It is. It's like a Space Hulk.
Oh, it's like a Space Hulk scene. That's amazing
insane.
too. Gosh. Yeah, I didn't see that one in person. He must have entered it later.
Absolutely crazy.
That's great.
This is also awesome. James Taro. Look, he's saved all the best plinths for himself.
Yeah, that's right. Another like cool use of Aeronautica models as sort of to play with perspective and scale in interesting ways.
Yeah.
Their plane got shot down. They jumped out.
They got this cool so good. Young Bloods. All right, who's ready to get depressed? So Young Bloods is what, 16 and under?
I don't know. Is it?
Yeah.
I'd believe you if you told me that.
What are they feeding these children?
Oh man.
Great job, Ben Trentacoste. Trentacoste? Don't know how to say that. Sorry. Xander Maydow.
Great. Yeah, those.
And Ron McDonald.
I did see a couple of the Youngbloods in person.
Yeah. See? Black Templar, auto win.
How to win Golden Demon.
Yeah.
Find nearest Black Templar model, slap some paint on it. Nah, just kidding. Those look great.
All right, this is what I wanted. This is my personal favorite, Open Comp. Open competition is my personal favorite. Usually this is where you see the most creative, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So let's see. I mean, this is cool.
It's fine. It's fine. Cool. It's cool.
Matt Kennedy.
No,
awesome. No, it's great.
I just painted one of these myself. It's pretty much the same.
It's identical.
I did it in 3 hours with contrast paint. But, Matt Kennedy, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. That might be yours, honestly. For all
it might be. Yeah.
You probably got him confused.
You probably stole it.
Richard Gray, taking silver with this. I've seen him working on this model for years at this point. That's pretty awesome to see it finally placed. Squig, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Jeffrey Bowden, with his sick Jane Czar.
Yes, I love that model.
It's so good. And then, of course, the Slayer Sword. Very
grand. The winner of all winners.
Yep. Great job. Yes. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, they do have some close-ups there from different angles. That's awesome.
Good job. Good job, everyone.
Great job, yeah. So that's Golden Demon. I think, as we mentioned, a number of our community members entered and received certificates of commendation, honorable mentions.
Yeah, we're going to get to those momentarily. I'm going to do a little bit of painting.
Yeah, I think I don't know why it didn't occur to me to enter. I should have put the Orca in, right?
Yeah.
Like, why not?
Large vehicle. Yeah, why not?
Large vehicle. Taking the top off, shown off the interior work that we did on the Journey stream, and then it would have been. I guess the trick there is that my suitcase was already very full.
Yeah. So you're like, I need to offload some. I'm just gonna put this in the case for a little bit. Well,
I just wouldn't have had room to bring it with me, honestly.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I brought models for 4 different games.
So that's right.
I played Epic and BFG in the event, and then I brought Malifaux models to play with just my friends that I went with, and as well as Warcry for the same reason, just to have a game to play in the evenings. Yeah.
Nice.
I had a full bag. These are all small scale games, so I didn't need a ton of stuff. But
well, you could have just fit stuff inside the Orca.
There you go. That's the right answer.
All right. Adding a little bit of this Vallejo metal colored gold.
Do you like that better than? Is that your new favorite gold paint?
Nah, Necro Gold is still my favorite.
That's a scale 75?
That is, yes, correct. Scale.
You know what's funny? There was I tried to find Necro Gold online. I had a retailer that I like to buy my paints from. They didn't have it in stock. And so when I was at Adepticon, I went to the Scale 75 at a booth.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, are you guys selling individual paints? And he was like, yeah, sure. What do you need? And I was like, do you have Necro Gold? And he's like, no. He was like, actually, we're all sold out at the warehouse too. We're not going to get any in for. He went off on a rant about how they can't keep the stuff in stock. And I was like, oh, wow. I accidentally
triggered this guy.
Yeah. I asked for the thing that apparently it's a popular paint.
Yeah.
For good reason. It's cool.
It's a great paint.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
All right. What am I going to do?
But yeah, it was. I also asked. There's one other. Oh, I went to the AK booth because I've been trying to find AK Ultramat varnish. This stuff right here. And I was like, hey, I can't. The web store I buy the stuff from doesn't have it in stock. And you're here. Can I just buy some varnish? And he was like, oh yeah, we don't have any. It was like the one that every other finish of varnish, but no Ultramat. I was like, oh yeah, checks out.
It's because people watch
He's like, we're gonna restock tomorrow morning, so you just got to come before like we open at 10, so you just have to come before 10:30, and we'll probably have some.
It sells out really fast.
He's like, every day we've been selling out in the first half hour. We'll sell out 20 bottles of this stuff, and we restock it.
That's awesome. I'm glad the words. But you hear that, Tim? You can't stop it. You can't stop the varnish train.
Tim doesn't care. Doesn't even prime his models, I hear.
Yeah, that's true. He doesn't even use brushes.
Yeah.
Finger paints them.
He just finger paints it.
Finger paints them.
Yeah. Do you have a red over there?
I do. I have multiple reds. I've got
the darkest red you've got?
That's the darkest I've got.
I'm going to paint some meat. I'm going to paint some meat sticks.
Some meat.
EJC Gory Red. Interesting. Never used this before.
Gory red's good.
Is it a good meat color?
It's a pretty good meat color. There's so many kinds of meat.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So many kinds of meat.
Apparently, Kroot just like get hungry, and they're like, "Oh, I don't want to get hangry in the middle of a fight, so I'm gonna carry meat around with me."
That's just smart.
And then they can just like, "Oh, I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat a snack."
That's just responsible.
So that's one way I think of it. The other way I think about it is like Kroot also have this thing where they can sort of take on the characteristics of the creatures they eat.
Yeah.
And so part of me thinks of them carrying around different kind like meats on hooks is them like taking potions in like an RPG. They're like, oh, I need extra dexterity right now. I'm going into battle where like I want to be able to like dodge bullets and stuff.
I gotta take my Eldar meat.
So they like eat a piece of Eldar meat and then they get like all like super fast. And then other times they're like, oh, I'm going to fight a tank. I need to like get super strong so I can like swing my Kroot rifle through this like tank hall. Time to like eat a piece of orc.
Yeah, my orc meat time.
Yeah.
Ooh, excuse me, burp.
So right. I think they've got all these different meats off them, like hanging off them, are just like different like different kinds of animals or creatures that they can use to power up in different ways.
Freaking DoorDash Kroot is probably the most powerful Kroot on the battlefield. Don't worry, I got you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, how are you coming? Do you think we've got 20 minutes left? Do you think you're gonna have time to finish?
I think that's in a place where you can call it pretty good.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not. There's a couple more things I haven't done the base, but Zach's gonna probably rebase it anyway.
Right.
So, Zach, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I did not use the magenta, but I don't think you can really tell. So, I'm gonna leave it.
Yeah, it's fine. I think it's fine.
Yeah. Might add a little bit of yellow to this beak here for the little bird. Actually, no. It's a little raven. Can I borrow some gray?
Yeah. Which color gray do you want?
What's the darkest? Yeah, what's it? You got a dark one?
Dark gray?
Yeah.
I've got black that you can mix in. Cool. I've also got a black contrast if you want.
Oh. I'm gonna go some of that. Get some of that block.
Yeah. All right, meat, bone. I got a bone, and then he's got just random hooks. Like the random hooks feels fraught to me. Like I get it if you're storing your meat on a hook, but if you've just got like extra hooks lying around, like this dude's running and charging and stuff. Like he's gonna.
You should take damage if you attack him.
He's gonna accidentally stab himself with this hook. And then he's got grenades, and I always wondered what the grenades were for, and now they have the grenades keyword. So
yeah, there you go.
That's it.
Sorry, I'm having to get all this.
He's ready to do between 0 and 6 mortal wounds.
That's right.
For the low price of 1 command point.
Grenades are very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna do this, and then we're gonna finish up the slideshow.
We got some more slides. Yeah, coming up. We did close our poll.
We did. It looks like LVO is the winner.
No, Warhammer Fest.
Oh.
R.I.P.
Yeah, sorry, R.I.P. Sorry, I meant of the existing ones. They could always bring it back, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. It was not clear to me. Maybe one of our UK viewers can fill us in. It was not clear to me if this was just like hey, it's not going to happen this year, or if it's like, yeah, Warhammer Fest is done as an event.
Yeah.
I didn't catch which of those was the case.
Yeah, is Warhammer Fest gone forever?
It certainly didn't happen this year.
Yeah.
But it seemed like a cool. Yeah, I don't know, and I also don't know if they offered any explanation for why it wasn't happening.
Yeah. I'm sure it was just a matter of like, let's just use Adepticon.
But like, if you're GW, you've got like you kind of want a signature event in your backyard, right?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. But I don't know. I guess yeah, it's kind of an odd decision. I don't really understand it. All right. I need to do this.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, I'm doing the quills. He's got little quills on his arms and legs.
Okay.
And this is always, I feel like this is a thing that I have historically never did. And then at some point I was like, I tried painting them.
Uh-huh.
And it just added so much. Like
Yeah.
It takes the leg from being just sort of monochrome and bland to being like super, adds a lot of visual interest. So
right.
I do that now, which I feel happy about.
Okay. Add a little bit of yellow. So before I do that, we're gonna do a little slideshow.
Oh, okay. Photo time.
Oh, hold on. Never mind.
Part 2. Photo time. Part 2.
Part deux.
Part 2.
Part deux. Oh man.
Love it. Love a little random French stuff
Yeah,
in there.
you know, I like to keep it classy, and I guess French is classy. It was a discussion, right? Is that what it was? All right. This is old news. We already talked about this. Congrats.
Oh
Devin.
yeah, that's Devin's Tauros.
All right. This is you showing us some.
Oh yeah, another. I don't know. This is even smaller than 6mm. This is like four millimeter or something. Some historical game. Look at this. Like there's hills, like contoured hills. There's tree lines. There's roads. There's like a caravan on the road. There's some forces attacking the caravan. Yeah.
You can't. You're not. This ain't your Warhammer. This ain't your dad's Warhammer.
This is amazing. Like Adepticon. When I go to the 2 times I've went to Adepticon, I was just overwhelmed with this feeling of like, I never want to play any of these games, but I'm so happy that there are hundreds of people here excited to play these games.
Yeah.
Like that is, I just wandered around for 4 days full of that feeling. That was my experience. I was just so happy for these people. Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. All right. Next up, we got. Oh man, this is crazy. This is a not Battlefield Gothic.
This is Space Hulk.
Space Hulk, yeah.
Yeah, I nerded out so hard when I saw this table.
It's a crazy table.
There's a guy just to the right out of frame here, who I chatted with for a bit. He printed these parts. These are Dragon's Rest designs that he purchased and printed. All of them. The center of the table has a Thunderhawk on it that he bought just for this event. He was like, I wanted it to be like a landing pad and there to be a Thunderhawk on it, but I didn't have time to paint it because I was printing and painting all this terrain. So he's like, I just went on eBay and bought a painted Thunderhawk for this event to set on here.
Just to set it up.
And I was
crazy.
I was just like, man, you are so cool. I told him this in person. Like, I think my exact words were like, I appreciate you so hard. You're killing it. Like, you're killing it. Just keep being you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you hear this enough, but like, you're amazing. Thank you so much. I'm not even playing your event. I've never played Space Hulk, but like, this is so cool.
You need hobbyists like this.
Yeah.
Stewards of the hobby.
That's right. So anyway, I thought this was rad. I took a picture of it. I wish I'd come back later in the day and like sort of seen people actually playing on the board. I don't even know how to play Space Hulk. Never played it before, but I thought this was super cool.
Cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Very cool. Hey, Chris Balky, right?
Yep, here we go.
So, congrats.
Congratulations.
Speaking of our very talented...
Best painted nomination.
Yeah, super cool. If you haven't seen this, Go to the Discord.
Check it out in Discord.
Super neat.
Chris posted some pictures of his stuff, and that's how I found him. I was like, oh, I recognize those pictures. Let me go say hi.
Super cool. Congrats.
You did a good job. Congrats. Yeah, amazing. He was very happy with he was very happy with his performance too.
Yeah. Oh, good. All right. So this is some Infinity, was it?
This is Infinity. Yeah. Oh my gosh. The Infinity events are always, the terrain looks so amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about Infinity. I know it's a squad-based war game made by Corvus Belli. The terrain, it's like a lot of it is like hacking and subterfuge, it's and like sneaking around. There's like stealth mechanics. Cyberpunk. There is killing and fighting, but like, you put 8 models on a team and 2 teams on this table, like it's entirely reasonable you might never interact with the other 8 models, I can imagine, given the density of this terrain.
Yeah, it's very dense.
It's impressive. It's cool. The tables are often like very sort of neon-y and cyberpunky.
Yeah.
And the terrain is always really nice. So I always get like, again, similar kind of, wow, this is so cool kind of vibes when I see Infinity set up. And yeah, it's great. I love it. I am tempted when I see terrain at these kinds of big events, but we just don't know anyone in our area who plays. So
man, it's the fact that it's pre-painted terrain is like nuts to me.
Yeah, I think this is MicroArt Studios that makes it.
Very cool.
But it's cool stuff.
I almost bought some for Kill Team, but
you could make it work.
Yeah, definitely can make it work.
You could make it work.
All right. Next we got the group.
Oh, so this is these are, I mentioned that I went with a group. This is me on the left, my friend Brad on the right, and then Brad's cousin Scott and his son Kyle in the center. At Buffalo Wild Wings. Kyle had never been to Buffalo Wild Wings. BW3s, if you're familiar. I don't know why it's called BW3s, since there are only 2 W's in
Buffalo Wild Wings.
So if you know why Buffalo Wild Wings is colloquially referred to as BW3s, please let me know. This bugged me for 20 plus years. Anyway, there's a Buffalo Wild Wings kitty corner across the highway, and we went there for dinner a couple times.
Nice.
Fun times.
Tim.
There's Tim.
Whatever. Just kidding.
JK.
Tim's child, as he put it.
Tim's child, right before got sent off into the world.
See, Chris.
To earn himself a nomination.
Yes, very, very cool.
Yeah.
Got a nomination.
Looks great.
Super good. Congrats, dude.
Yeah, this is amazing. You should be super proud of this model. It looks dope. This is a bad picture of it.
Yeah, come on, dude. What are you doing? You didn't take any pictures in the case. In the case.
Yeah.
Actually, yes, he did. I know. I've actually seen one. He did. I don't know why we didn't choose that one. Anyway.
Anyway.
Great job. Good job, Tim.
This is amazing. Yeah, it looked so good.
All right.
I voted for it. I wasn't on the panel.
Yeah, I would have. I would have voted for
it. I tried to blackmail one of the judges into. I threatened their families.
Yeah,
it didn't work.
So, if you don't see Brett for a little bit on the channel, you'll know that's why. He's in jail. All right, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was my experience at Adepticon. I went 2-1 in BFG. I went 1-1-1. Sorry, I went 1-1-1 in BFG and 2-1 in Epic.
Okay.
Had a good time in both. Did some cool demos. Got some cool raffle prizes. Picked up some commemorative models.
Hey. Speaking of.
I think it was all around an awesome time.
Nice.
I'm hoping I'm going to be able to go next year.
Yeah.
There's it's always a little tricky based on dollar bills and time, and you kind of have a limited sort of number of these
events you can go to.
Travel to an event that you can go to.
Yeah.
But Adepticon is, at least for me as a specialist games enjoyer and a hobby focused individual, I think Adepticon is high on my list.
Yeah.
You know, as compared to like even in LVO, it's like I think I go to LVO because a lot of our local friends go, and
It's relatively close for
it's
us.
on the West Coast. You can drive there, yada yada. So like all of those make it sort of more compelling. But like as far as the event itself goes, I think Adepticon is kind of more my speed. Yeah, I just have to. It's a lot of travel. It's a lot of
Yeah.
time. It's a 4-day event, which means it's 6 days with travel, et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly. Yeah.
But we'll see.
It can be an
We'll
ordeal.
see. Yeah, we'll see. I'm hopeful that I'll be able to make it.
Yes.
Definitely enjoyed it. Tim, thank you for the 5-month chat. I posted better pictures. This is your fault.
I don't know. I don't know. If you posted better pictures, I would have seen them, and I would have chose them. I don't know, Tim. But yes, seriously,
yes,
go to the. Of course, you posted better pictures. I've seen the we did the critique pictures. That's like.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago, we did a critique.
Yeah. All right.
I'm curious if you listened to any of our critique advice. Did you follow any of our critique advice?
I'm listening to these idiots. What the hell do they know about painting? Which is probably smart. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I think I'm gonna get all of the color blocking done, and then I'll have the washes to do. I typically go over the skin with like a Nuln Oil. I'm thinking I might, Kroot are like hey, I have 60 of these to paint kind of model. So it's hard to justify spending many hours on individual.
Surprisingly big for a horde unit.
Yeah.
Per model, they're surprisingly large.
I am happy that the new sculpts, they didn't add too much in the way of clothing to them. This was one of Zach and I's mutual fears, is that they were going to add a bunch of they already have a bunch of leather straps and stuff on them, but like it's sort of manageable. But you could also imagine that if they kind of, GW likes sort of adding more and more detail to the newer generations of sculpts. And if they lean into that with the new Kroot stuff, that they could have just kind of gotten a little bit out of hand in terms of the amount of detail.
They could have done the what they did to oh my gosh, Cities of Sigmar. I guess those the old world models were already kind of busy. Actually, no. What they could have done is they could have done what they did to Varangard, which is something I'm suffering through right now.
All the trim. And
oh
stuff?
My gosh! Why did they do that?
Is there a lot? Yeah. Varangard are busy, huh?
I don't. Yeah, that was an update. I guess they're an update. They didn't have Chaos Knights, but it's kind of like an updated Chaos Knight.
Yeah.
That must have been the year that GW got access to computer design, because they said, you know what, let's just put everything on here.
They're like,
horns, trim, faces that turn into half metal,
do they have
hair
rivets?
everywhere? Huh?
Do they have rivets?
Oh yeah, there's rivets on the trim. Freaking psychos. Yeah. Let's just be glad they didn't do that to Kroot. Can you imagine if Kroot had trim everywhere?
They had. I mean, so there was genuinely that worry in the community, because the Farstalker kill team that they released had a lot of extra detail. There's a lot of individual models with like weird strappy things, and some of them had some like clothes and capes, and they are sort of a little bit more of a mercenary company and sort of unique models, and
they are specialists.
They're specialists. So there was genuinely the fear that like, oh, this is the direction they're going with the line. But the new carnivore kit is potentially gonna have all of this extra detail just kind of baked into it.
Yeah.
And fortunately they didn't. The Kroot are still mostly naked.
Thank goodness.
This Hunter Strikes model has more strappy stuff going on than the average Kroot even.
It makes me wonder, so like, are they a pants society, or is that just purely for decoration?
No pants.
No pants society. Pants. Okay.
Yeah.
Winnie the Poohin'.
They're They have a bandolier so that they can attach equipment to themselves, but like they don't wear clothing for the sake of modesty. Yeah.
Okay.
That's not a thing that they care about.
Testing. Oh, something wrong? Whatever. It's almost the end of the stream anyway.
Yeah.
What is that?
No, you can hear us. The mic's working.
Okay. Where you at? Actually, I just asked you that. I'll show you where I'm at. I'll give you a minute. Okay. I'm gonna let you go. Yeah, this is where I'm at. Here he is. Little bit of blue on the Raven as well.
Very nice.
The tree needs a little bit of a
metallic.
wash.
Yeah.
Tree needs a little wash. I think if I have a little bit more time, I would add a little bit more shade to the metallic leaves.
Okay. On his shoulders.
Yeah. Just a little bit. There's his butt with the red.
The shade is that bluish tint.
Yeah, it's Croxigor scales pretty thin down.
Is it a thin down shade paint or is it contrast paint?
Contrast.
Okay.
Thin down contrast. Yeah, I wanted to keep it in line with Zach's model, so I didn't do too much deviation. His has a bit more copper. I decided to go with Vallejo Metal Color Gold, which is kind of a pale gold.
Do you know how he achieved that very shiny finish? Because his model looks a lot glossier than yours.
So what he did is he used a gloss prime. At least that's what I.
Oh, because this is gloss black primer.
Yeah, gloss black primer.
That makes sense.
I don't think he. Let me see. I don't think he did the panel lighting on this one.
Okay.
Which I did on this one, and that kind of bleeds out, so that kills a bit of the shine.
I have heard that gloss black primer before a metallic is like one way to make it really shiny.
Yes, it is. Or with some metallics. Some metallics it doesn't really work that way, but with these Vallejo metal colors it is. Okay. They're one of them. And another reason his is going to be more shiny is because I put the contrast paint on the feathers.
Yep.
So.
Oh, so contrast paint is a more matte.
Yeah, it's a satin. It's a satin finish. Also, I realize I thinned it with matte varnish, not thinner. So that might be why it's a little more matte.
Wow, okay.
Whatever.
I think it looks good. Rather than using contrast medium.
I think I'm looking at it now. I think I may have mixed in a little bit of matte varnish.
Okay. That would do it.
Good. Yeah, obviously there's a couple more things I would like to do to it. I want to maybe render the metallics on his sword a little more. But yeah, so here's Zach's. This is what I was trying to emulate in terms of color scheme, and I think it's pretty close. All right.
Cool. Let me jump in there.
Yeah.
Get these out of the way. All right. The Hunter. Yeah, so I basically have done all of my color blocking. I've got gray for sort of the composite bits that he got from the Tau, his shoulder pad, his gun stock. I've got his strappy bits done. I've got his meat and his bone and his meat hooks done. I've got his knife done. And I've got his quills and his chest piece done.
Chesties.
Yeah, so I'll do a contrast paint over the leather, and I'll do a Nuln Oil, a black ink over the metallic to tone it down a little bit, and something over the skin, either some combination of black / sepia wash on the skin, or possibly a dark green wash. I don't know. I just need something to get in the recesses, and then I'll probably do a second pass with the original GW Emerald or Vallejo Emerald to bring back the mid-tone. But yeah, I think I'm ready for that step, the wash step. So this was good.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I like the pose. We'll take this away from here.
All right. Well, that's going to take us to the end of the stream today.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for swinging by, everyone.
This was fun.
Again, congrats to all the accolades our awesome community won at Adepticon.
It was super cool seeing all the entries. It was super cool seeing the entries of folks from our community, as well as meeting some of you at Adepticon. I give out a handful of stickers.
Oh, good. Make sure you guys don't spend them all at once.
If you ever see any of us at an event, make sure to ask us for a sticker.
Yeah, we'll probably have some.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. We're going to get out of here. We're going to go have some food.
Yeah.
I don't know why I stuttered on that. Food.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.